Honorable President Sir, respected Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, Advisor Ma'am, Headmistress Ma'am, and Manager Ma'am. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this inspiring event, Atmanirbhar Bharat Lecture Series, a celebration of India's vision of self-reliance, innovation, and growth. Together, we gather not just to listen, but to learn, reflect, and commit ourselves to building a nation that stands strong on its own feet, confident, capable, and creative. We are deeply honored to have among us distinguished guests and eminent speakers who have contributed immensely towards nation building. On the behalf of Agriculture Club International Hindu School, I extend a warm welcome to our respected speaker for today's event, Dr. Sreerama Raju, Mudduluru Principal Scientist and Research and Development Head, Sri Shaktivel Crop Technology, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. A warm welcome to you, sir. And also a
Thank
warm welcome to our faculty members, students, and everyone joining us here for this enlightening session. Before beginning with our lecture, I would like to introduce our speaker among us. He is an accomplished agro-scientist with over 30 years experience in crop management, soil health, and farmers training across India and abroad. A PhD in biochemical engineering from IIT BHU, he pioneered nutritionally balanced farming and eco-friendly innovations such as carbon-based technology and non-residual fungicides, promoting sustainable and low-cost farming. His initiatives like Kheti Sundar program and Global Soil Doctor Network empower farmers with scientific knowledge and self-reliant practices. By developing indigenous bioproducts and promoting soil health-based productivity, Dr. Raju contributes significantly to the Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India missions. His integration of modern science with Vedic principle embodies a holistic vision for sustainable, self-reliant, and environmentally responsible agriculture in India. So before we begin with our presentation, I would have like to address some of the guidelines for our attendees, whoever are participating in this lecture series. So I have three major guidelines for all the participants. Please, everyone should keep themselves mute during the lecture. And if possible, all of us are requested to keep our videos on during the lecture. And during the question and answer session followed after the lecture, questions can be asked through the chat box only. And so that I will be delivering the questions to our guest speaker and he will be addressing those questions. So before beginning this lecture, I would like to request our Honorable President, sir, to kindly deliver the inaugural address and bless us with his words of wisdom as we commence this lecture series today.
It gives me a great pleasure to, to meet my friend Dr. Raju, whom I have known for some time now. He has been to my house in America, and I was very happy to help him along in his tour here. But this topic, Atmanirbhar Bharat, is very appropriate because we are surrounded in this very uncertain world. And there are people who want to browbeat us, they want to put us down, they want to destroy on the boundaries. So it is very important that India becomes self-sufficient, so it does not have to depend on exporting our IT graduates to America, to to various things which we depend on the world. We are quite self-sufficient. Uh, and agriculture is one of them because we are being pressured by America to buy their soybean, to buy their corn. And we don't want to buy them because we produce enough. But there is a pressure. So it's very appropriate that we start with agriculture because our population has gone on from 33 crores to 150 crores in a matter of 75 years. So we have to feed more people, more, more students have to take agriculture to grow more food, and at a lower cost. So, without further ado, I will invite Dr. Raju to start his lecture. We are very grateful that you are able to join us. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's my great pleasure. Yeah. So can I start, sir?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Uh, Respected Dr. Suman sir from USA and respected staff of International Hindu School. And I express my great privilege today to be in this session because SAR has requested that no, our students are required some of knowledge on nutrition management, particularly in plant nutrition, how to be managed and balanced that one. So for that, I have developed a program, NBF and NRF, so that I am going to give you a gist because it is a vast subject, cannot be covered even in 1 hour, 2 hours also. It's a very vast subject. If any possibility is there, I will come to Varanasi and we'll have a direct interaction with the student because it's a very so important subject, today's agriculture. So I will give the gist of this program, how it is useful in future. So if you go back, from the 89 years of our independence, what the farmers, what the Indian agriculture is produced or learned is nothing actually. It's a zero in my view. Because my 30 years experience, if you go to the fields, the farmer practice a very poor manner actually. They are not actually systematically it is doing in agriculture. That's why the Indian farmer, if you ask anybody, are you happy in agriculture? No. Why? They don't have reason also. Only one reason I found is expenditure is more and income level is less. They didn't tell that, our yields are less. Yields are going very high. They are achieved very good yields, but expenditure wise, they are putting more and more expenditure what they want to do it in agriculture. So the expense is more and income levels are less. That's why farmers are very in a loss of agriculture. So reason behind this, what I observed is the practices how to handle the soil and plant is most important. That farmer, if you see just go to the slide, no, that farmer slide, that slide,
Next
that
slide,
third
please.
side. Chitiji, okay, while going slides, I will explain. So when we are dealing the farmer who is, I call them as a illiteracy. Illiteracy is not that no signing and reading. It is not illiteracy. In the science and botany, plant physiology, what to be understand to manage them, it's almost nil. This one, if you see this farmer face, can anybody imagine that he can know about the plant and soil? The practices of mixing insecticides, fungicides, or any spray techniques and anything can he know it? No. This is the most case of the 90 farmers. With this handling, with him handling, how can we train him? That's most important. That's why it's a very tough job. I'm seeing it for the 30 years. They don't remember well. Even you train also, again, the next day they will forget it. So overall, our Indian soils, particularly Indian soils and crops, are now facing a very tough situation. If this situation continues, probably after 10 to 15 years, even seeds also will not germinate because totally the soil health is spoiled. And I'm very unfortunate to say this. Thousands and lakhs of scientists are the agricultural scientists, agriculture officers. There are a lot of network is going on, but nobody is focused. The minimum basic fundamentals of agriculture, what farmer has to apply on his own. Now, what farmer is doing? He is copying of the other farmers and just listening to the dealer who doesn't know about anything about agriculture except the sales. He's a marketing person. He want to sell his product. That's why whatever profitability he wants, he's giving it. Nobody is observing the patient. Patient hears for any business, there are two customers. I'm unfortunate to say this. If I ask any question, who is the customer in agriculture? 99 people say that farmer is a customer. See, for any business, if you take the business concept also, business means in Hindi, it is a grahak. We call it as a grahak. Any grahan karne wala. For a medical business, patient is the customer. For any groceries, a customer who is taking and eating it is a customer. For everywhere, there is a customer. But in agriculture, very unfortunately, many people answer that farmer is a customer. But it is a wrong answer. Farmer never be customer because he is not the grahak. He is not taking the medicine, he has pesticides in his body or he is not taking any fertilizer, but is applying to the field, that is soil, and the application of foliar for the plant. Then who is the customers now? Soil and plant is the customer for agriculture products. Even this basic point, nobody is understanding because all the companies manufacturing to sell the product to the farmer only. This is the biggest drawback I observed in my 30 years experience. And farmer is, they feel that any company, even multinationals, they are seeing my customer is farmer, I want to satisfy, or my customer is dealer and distributor, I want to satisfy them with the schemes and all these things. But none of them, the understanding the real customer, the actual customer of plant and soil, because that is a very tough subject, complicated subject. Nobody want to enter in that one. That's why maybe this is maybe the reason they might have avoided that. No, considering as a soil and plant as a customer, but insectival from myself, we consider, we design the product and we recommend the products for the plants and soil only, but we never consider the farmer as our customer or as a important person for agriculture. Okay, then go to the first point. So this farmer, I have to deal it. I am dealing this type of farmer since 30 years in agriculture. That's why even I learned from them also, their practices. Okay. So in this way, I started a program, the national program KT Sudhar and NBF, nutritionally balanced farming. And another concept recently developed just 1 year back, NRF, non-residual farming. This is globally, it is very, very important concept. Non-residual farming is whatever we spray, it should not make residues on the produce. This safely should be used by the consumers. Okay. Another three things I have observed to start this program, because I want to give this basic fundamental concept. Why I started NBF, because there are already other programs are there. Chemical farming, organic farming, biofarming, you name anything, there are 7, 8 programs are going on. Apart from that, why I started NBF, you must know. You must know that one. Otherwise, it never be understood properly. Why NBF? Why can't it be organic? Why can't it be biofarming? Why can't it be chemical farming? Here I want to say one word. There is no chemical farming in application of fertilizer. Actually, wrong word using in agriculture system. Chemical farming is not at all a proper word in using fertilizers. That also very big misconcept is going on. Based on that, they are promoting biofarming and organic farming. Even that also lot of mess up is going on. Nobody is doing organic farming really what to be done. This is another point I want to point out. So leaving this point to the coming, why it is needed today. There are three dangerous things I observed in my entire experience. If we don't take immediate step or actions towards the agriculture, in 10 years, it may be 15 years, even seeds will not germinate. That is the situation, because total soil health. What is soil health? Just like in doctor knows very well, our basic health is human being. It is a BP, sugar, cholesterol, and third maybe another nowadays kidney failure, creatine, or so many things. They are basic things. This sugar, BP, and cholesterol. Like that, Soil is also have four important structures, yeah, health points. I can say that the four pillars of the soil health. One is, first point is pH. If soil doesn't have pH between 6 and 7, then whatever you spend it, it's not going to take it properly. 6 and 7 is most important. That's the first point. Second point is carbon source. If you don't have carbon source, this carbon topic itself takes 2 hours to talk about it, because that is the dangerous thing we have reduced for the 30 years agriculture. Carbon has gone to zero level. Without carbon, no soil can perform and or will helpful to the plant to give the nutrition in a proper way. Third point is electric conductivity. I think the basic fundamental will be no given training to the students. We are pursuing the maybe diploma courses or a BSc AG or MSc AG. Even no MSc AG's level is also people. I checked them. They are also not aware of these points, how to manage it. So EC electric conductivity. So plus minus no action where the nutrition absorbed by the roots. Fourth point is C-N ratio, carbon and nitrogen ratio. Just like a BP, 120 by 80 is the no normal one. If our BP is figures are changed, definitely our body health will be no problematic. So like that, C-N ratio, there must be always. I will show you next in future slides. 10 is to 1. 10 carbon, 1 nitrogen must be there. If it is imbalanced, I think the crop health will be drastically damaged. Pest attack and no growth, fruiting, flowering, everything will be affected. That's the CM ratio. Now the all the parameters, pH 6 and 7, it has reached to 8 and 9. Carbon must be 2%, it has reduced to 0.2%. 0.2, zero point 0.3 all over India. You can search the Google what is the carbon level in Indian soils. You can find it out. And electric conductivity, it must be 1. So it is again 0.2, zero point 0.3. And CN ratio is 10 is to 1. Now 1 carbon and 10 nitrogen. This is the figures damaged for the past 30 years. So my NBS built no on this major the health parameters of the soil. See, another important factor, why soil health? Can't we feed the plants with the foliar spray? Any student can verify this point. Can it say anything about, can unmute and say any student, why can't we feed the feed the plant directly without soil application? Any answer? Is it possible?
Yeah, no, I would request you to continue because they
Okay.
have been told to
Okay.
only communicate in the
Okay, sir.
in
Okay.
Q&A session, sir. They will be asking
Yes.
questions in that
Yes,
session,
sir.
sir.
Okay, no problem. So another three dangerous things I observed the future agriculture damage. First thing is no farmer's son is coming to the agriculture. Next generation, nobody is interested. All are going for no sophisticated jobs. There is no hard work and no very sitting in the AC and they want to prefer to work that. No, even farmer community, farmer family, father, mother say that go don't come to agriculture. You go to any good job. That is one of the another dangerous thing. Second thing is climatic conditions are not giving suitability to the for present agriculture. There uncertainty of the climatic condition. Third thing is government policies not at all supporting the present agriculture in Indian condition particularly. These three things makes us the future agriculture. Maybe Sir told that now we are going to even 150. We crossed 160 also as per the norms. Still we are telling the same figure 140 crores, 150 crores, but even it touches 170 crores. But his exact figure is not coming out. So if population is increasing and nobody's agriculture production is coming down, how can you manage the food hunger? How can we escape from the food hunger? This is the most dangerous things. And here, if we consider this point, I'm seriously working. Even these points, this disturbing the soil, not making the plant health, not training proper the no farmers, and nobody is taking care of the actual agriculture. Even I am talking to the lawyer, put it to the government law system. How can be rectified? Who can take care of this one? So many scientists, lakhs of students, lakhs of colleges. Nobody's working in the basic fundamental. I am talking today subject is in our botany. It is only 1 to 2% only. If I go to the extreme level, cell level, it is a very extraordinary. You can command the plant yield should become or not. We can command it also. But what I'm telling is basic fundamentals because students should learn it. If they go to the field, they have to train the farmers. Otherwise, even still today, farmers spray technology, spray technique is very, very wrong. After these many years, farmer doesn't know how to spray on the plant. Okay, always wrong spray. They're applying costly chemicals, making their spending expenditure level beyond their limits, and say that no, agriculture is not suitable because it's heavy expensive. We are not getting proper way. So blaming of agriculture, I don't accept it. Also, we can say that I don't know how to manage the plant and soil. That's all. They are the real customers. So if you go to the first point, go to the first slide. Now you'll go to the where it is started the journey. Go to the first slide. This. See, here only I can differ from other farming practices. People quarrel with me. No, organic is good, and bio is good. Chemical is not at all suitable. Then when I brought this concept NBF, why it is different from from all the concepts when anybody asked, I presented this slide. See, in basic fundamental thing, before this, I want to say two things. That's most important. It's the most important concept. Everybody should learn it because this came with the Vedic principles. There is a one big subject how to handle the life. Actually, there are big subjects in the Vedic principles how to handle the life, how to handle the mind. Actually, I put two concepts for both the things. National program Keti Sudhar and NBF for the agriculture, how to handle the life, and national program Admi Sudhar or Humanity Sudhar and HBF, Happy Balanced Family. This also program I'm running to the people how to be happy in the family by controlling the mind. So leave it about that HBF, this NBF. This is the fundamental point. You have to apply. Plants use the mineralized ionic form of nutrients. It doesn't matter to the plant which source it comes from. This is the basic fundamental concept which for the NBF. Plant doesn't know which source you are. It doesn't matter which source you are giving, either from cow dung or organic manure or vermicompost or the city compost. It doesn't matter. Or you are giving a fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, doesn't matter. It requires only the ionic form of nutrients. Ionic means cations and anions. Ionic form of nutrients soluble in the water and available at the root level whenever it requires. That's the concept. Whenever it requires. It doesn't mean plant have different stages: seed germination, vegetative growth, flowering, fruiting, branching, and flower drop. All stages are there. All stages, all the nutrients are participating. Particular stage. Because we don't know the subject of how to balance it, people simply opted the composting. Yes, you apply compost, automatically whatever nutrient is available in the compost, it will dissolve in the soil and plant will take. Anybody is given guarantee that compost is having all the 16 elements? Nobody has tested how many nutrients are present in the soil and particularly the animal manures and the plant debris. Nobody is analyzed. Simply they tell that everything is available, we are applying compost. That is also wrong actually. One must analyze all the 60 nutrients are available in the cow dung or in the compost or vermicompost or sitting compost. Then, however, the release, because here, why release? Because plant cannot eat. So here I want to clear one concept. Everybody must listen it very carefully. In a village means there are houses, plants, animals, and humans. Am I right? This is a village. You leave it the houses. The point comes the living and non-living things. If you consider living things have a different habits and non-living things have a different habits. Here houses are the non-living. You leave it. We need not handle anything. When you come to the village, the handling of humans and plants and animals. If you consider two things, how they eat, how they take the food, and how they know in what form they take it. If you consider the first of all eating practices, if I can ask whether man will eat food or drink food, if he eats or drink it, everybody says that man eats because he is having mouth. If you ask animals eat grass or drink, everybody says that they eat the grass, not the drinking the grass, because they have mouth. When come to the plants, if I ask whether fertilizers are to be eaten by the plant or absorption by the plant, here definitely answer comes the absorption. They don't eat because they don't have, just like animals and humans, they don't have mouth to eat, because eating means even solid metal you can eat. But in absorption, it must be dissolved in the water, because in plants, in agriculture, water is the media. Without water, plants cannot take their fertilizers or ions at the root level. This is the first basic concept. This farmer doesn't know. If you ask farmer how no plant eats or drink, he says eats only. He doesn't have any clear idea. If we have idea of clarity, it absorbs. Every bag of a fertilizer application, you should check it whether it is dissolved in the soil or not. Every spray tank, he will check whether it dissolved or not. Even in the leaves and the plant roots, they should absorb only. In leaf through stomatos, and leaf and the roots through the root hairs, root pores. If it is not soluble as fertilizers, if fertilizer is not soluble, how can you take? And farmer, what is doing mistake? He applies one bag urea DAP. He says, he see the upper side, plant is not healthy. Apply another bag. If it is not resulted, apply another. Like that, every acre or hectare, it's going near about 20 to 30 bags. Who told this one to apply 30 bags? Either government told, a dealer told, or company told, or farmer is doing on his own. If I ask this question, we don't know, sir. The other farmer is applying. We're also applying. Is this correct? Is this correct way to spoil the soil? Where is the controlling limitation? Who will do it? Government or institutes or scientists? Who will take care? I say that every graduate of agriculture should take this responsibility to safeguard the no. People tell you, so what is the citizen responsibility of a country? He should protect without any obligation, without any suggestions, his soil, rivers, forest, all the climatic condition. Every citizen should responsibility take response to protect them from the damage. Otherwise, the next generation will definitely affected. Every citizen, not only me or you, anybody should take care of this one. So another thing is, the second point observed. If you see the three things, animals and plants and humans, humans always take food from upper to down. Am I right? Because why I'm telling is, this is very important, where the Indian farmers are doing very wrong practice of spraying the plants, because they doesn't know this one. They see that anyway they can take it. No, plant doesn't take in irregular way. It has a system. So if I ask to train them, I have to take these examples. If I ask anybody, if you take food from upper to down or down to up, everybody says upper to down, because mouth is upper side and stomach is down, it comes down only. If you ask that how the animals takes the food, it's a side, not from upper or down. When it comes to the plant, it is always from down to up. even in leaf also. You can observe any farmer's sons are there, anybody's family related to the agriculture family, ask them for ask his father or who is spraying, where you spray, always say upper side. That is the wrong practice. Always spray must be downside the leaf, because always in plant physiology, leaf always takes from down to up. If plant is taking from down to up, automatically leaf also will take. Here, crores of monies are wasting people, farmers. They are spraying the wrong way. Result is not coming. Go for another spray. Another spray is not coming result. Another spray. So very, very poor practice. Based on these two aspects only, I'm talking about this NBF. Okay. So one point is clear. Any fertilizer, any compost or anything chemicals are applying or pesticides are applying, it must be dissolved in water properly. Whatever not dissolved, it is mere waste. Plant will not take. It's a damn sure point. Okay. Next slide. So first one is after second slide. This one, no? Yeah. This next one. Next one. Now I compared here the CF, the chemical, what is saying chemical farming and organic farming and biofarming. I'm comparing this one. In chemical farming, you get good quality of produce, but yields may not be up to the mark. Sorry, chemical farming gets more yield but low quality produce. Defect, indiscriminate uses of fertilizers and soil parameters are disturbed. When come to the organic farming, gets good quality of the produce, but yields may not be up to the mark. You cannot dictate yields in organic farming. That's why the practical example is Sri Lanka. Suddenly they changed all the normal farming to the, you might have seen in the news, organic farming last 2-3 years back. Totally, government declared that we go for complete organic farming. You don't believe 50% production have come down, and even food hunger started. Everybody knows this point. So gets good quality, but produce, but yields may be not up to the mark. Adequate Defects are adequate availability of organic manures is doubtful, and soil parameters are not disturbed. Soil pyramid not disturbed, but adequate quantities available and yields are not guaranteed. Next, biofarming. These are far away. Nobody's coming into the biofarming. Just I'm introducing the biofarming. Biofarming is not organic or chemical. Applying only beneficial microbes to the soil after analyzing what types of bacteria required. No fertilizer, no compost is applied, only biological, no biofarming means applying microbes, and these microbes will go into the soil. They will mineralize the unavailable form of nutrition to the plant. This is a it's not very familiar now, because nobody knows how to apply the fertilizer. So I'm just introducing and giving the knowledge biofarming. Biofarming so far not introduced and not possible also, because our soil disturbed for the first 30 years, all the parameters gone out of the control, and to make survive of the biological cultures, all the parameters, pH must be always 6 and 7. Even 7.5 will not be suitable for microbes. So this biofarming is almost all no, not in the list actually. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next. Why Kheti Sudhar and NBF came into the limelight? Why I brought this system is that I made it a national program actually, because it must be go to the. I'm trying. My dream is this NBF should be introduced by the government itself one day. I will work until that time has come, because without this, farming both yield and quality cannot be possible. Okay, that all I will cover in later. See, this why cases are in India already. Two agricultural revolutions happen. One is Green Revolution 1. Dr. Swaminathan, the great scientist, introduced Green Revolution 1. You increase the productivity. At that time only all the chemical fertilizers applied. The Green Revolution second is smart way, you optimize the yields. That has also happened. Both are successful. In these two concepts, this revolution, they forgot to, damages what will happen consequently, they forget it. In these two revolutions, excessive fertilizers are applied, indiscriminate fertilizers applied, and they made the soils as a garbage actually. Excess fertilizers. That is the problem now since 30 years. These excess fertilizers are damaging the soil as well as and the plant health. That's why more insects, more diseases, more sprays. Okay, naturally, if patient loses his health, he has to go for more medication, more type of expenditure to safeguard his health. It is happening now. I named it NBF is third green revolution, not to increase the yields, not to increase anything already achieved. Good yields are coming in India, but the the soil disturbed, the no parameters disturbed because of excess fertilizers. I want to clean it. I want to make it clean it. That's why NBF is introduced. Nutritionally balanced farming. You check the parameters of the soil fertilizer, which is excess, reduce it, which is less, balance it. That is the concept. So it is actually third green revolution. I have given the NBF as cleaning the soils from the excess garbage. That's the concept which I developed. Okay. So now here the cleaning process. That's why the KT Sudhar NBF, it is why the main concept is working. Minimize the excess fertilizers, neutralize the soil parameters, and maximize the nutritionally balanced maximize the yields with the normal cost. Because in agriculture, cost is also most important. Nowadays, farmers are not at all calculating. Even their motorbike run to the field from the house, that petrol is not also calculated. He is not calculating his hard work. He is not calculating anything, his family energies, but he is calculating, I didn't get good yield and good price, what I am spending more and more. That's why I say farmers, don't do the agriculture, do the business with the agriculture. Every rupee, the spending is proper or not. You please check it. For this, I don't think qualification is required. A common sense is required. That's all. Because a small normal a beetle, no पान दुकान वाला भी business में calculate करता है how much I am earning, but farmer is not earning, not calculating, simply blames that agriculture is not profitable. I don't agree for it. Because you are putting one seed, you are taking 100 grains. How it is possible that agriculture is not profitable? They didn't accept that. I am unable to manage it proper way. That is the problem actually. For this only, this program is developed to train all the farmers and make into the step by step into the very normal practice of agriculture. Okay, next. Next. So here are two things. If you consider why two things, national program, KT Sudhar and NBF, I have to clear that. Why two concepts are there, KT Sudhar and NBF? There are two concepts, actually, they are not same. KT Sudhar means improve the soil parameters, soil health. And NBF means feed the plant appropriate balanced nutrition. These two things are different concept. Unless, because plant takes from down to up against the gravitation force, the soil must be healthy. Soil must be healthy means all the parameters, what I told is pH, carbon ratio, everything must be properly balanced. So that's why when you apply the fertilizers, you must be balance it. What we balance? If you say consider pH, 6 and 7 minus negative ions and cations. We should go to to understand that every student should go with the chemistry, that table chart of all the nutrients, all the nutrition charges, you can find it out. The same thing is happening. Okay, So NPF means if any problem from the soil, plant unable to take the food, then immediately by seeing the plant condition, you have to design the foliar spray. Foliar spray, because God has given a very peculiar system for all the living beings except plant, two ways of feeding. For all the living beings, they have only one way. You take any living being, they have one way of eating. If that way is closed, that's all. But in plants, they absorb from the roots as well as leaf also. Because God knows, because all the living beings are dependent on the plants only. It may be from algae to the banyan tree. Everything is dependent on the vegetation only, all the animals. So here, NPR, if plant is problematic, unable to take the food from the, fertilizer from the soil, we can protect it from the foliar spray also. That's why soil application and foliar sprays are very, very important in designing. We must take all the precautionaries to apply application of this one, because plant will not eat the food. It always absorb. This is a basic fundamental. We should not forget it, because it doesn't have any mouth, just like eating it. So, okay. So then comes the educate the farmers. Without education, highly impossible, because farmer again do the mistake. I'm seeing this 30 years, even a 10 years training farmer also, again, he will do again, because he's not focusing on the sub, because he's not educated in the science. He's educated only in the agricultural practices, how to plow it, how to seed sowing, how to give the fertilizer, how to spray, and how to cut and harvest and just sell it. That's all. Other things he doesn't know. Even he doesn't put his mind also to understand, because it matters the science actually. So now, whose responsibility to make them educate? It is our responsibility. People like us, all the students from agriculture should have a take responsibility. Include at least one student should only teach his own father, his own farming people, how to spray, how to apply the fertilizers. Then only get the success. Then these are the three things we will consider in these points. Okay, next. Next slide. So here, basic concept is the ethical values of the agriculture. What is ethics of the agriculture? Everybody should understand it. Never ever misguide or mislead the soil, the plant, the farmer. If anybody tries to misguide, agriculture never be a successful one. If we know, we can tell it. Otherwise, say we don't know. But for the sake of just selling the product, but the sake of convincing the farmer, we should not misguide all these three parameters, the pillars of the agriculture and the life actually. Every human life depend upon food actually. Why we should not misguide? Because it's daily a battle between the life and death. The plant, when in the open environment, nowadays all green farming, all are coming, that's a different case. When plant is openly in the soil, so it's daily it is battle between the life and death, vulnerable condition, cold, heat, and moreover your sprays all are giving stress actually. In stress, one important point is there, if any plant goes stress, at least minimum 1 to week to 10 days will not produce anything. That's why we should very carefully, we have to take care of, we should not mislead, we must particularly know everything should and then handle it. Okay, then next slide please. You already explained. Go next one. This is also this I'm just showing that these many parameters, physical, chemical, and biological. Biological means we should maintain the proper count in the soil. That I will explain in one slide. So how it will be the most important for this one, biological. All these parameters. Among all these, we are taking only three. pH. Every parameter means it is very impossible for the farmers. They can't understand it. And we'll consider these points when we go for doing a project of agriculture to produce a definite volume of yield. Then we'll consider all these points actually. chemical and physical and biological. Okay. And here we are taking only three: pH, electric conductivity, and carbon source. Next. Next. Here I farmer actually this slide is made for the only farmers, and if anybody interested can see that this I explained that what I know in a true picture how the food taken by the human beings, animals, and plants. At least with this picturization, farmer can understand. You don't believe, after seeing this picture, most of the farmers converted, and they no, no, they changed the practice of spray from the down to up. Even I made one video also. I can circulate. I can give it later on that way to the. You can see that all the students can see how to spray it. Next. If you wrongly feed for the life means anybody. So it's a human body or life or plant or any animal. If you feed it wrong, it will not take, it will not be useful for that particular life. So now, overall, it is a agriculture. I can call it as it is a number game. Now, how many nutrients are helpful? So generally, I take example of if you want to learn the Hindi or in English, there are alphabets are there. You must learn all the alphabets without leaving a single alphabet. Like that, if you want to handle the plants or the soil, all the 16 16 nutrients must be balanced. Here, what happened? The biggest gap I observed in Indian agriculture. Although if you see the Google search, how many nutrients are required for the plant? 16 nutrients. In that, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen are also there. But for the 30, 40 years, that upper line, they are neglected and started from the 13 elements. In 16, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, zinc, manganese, ferrous, copper, boron, molybdenum, chlorine. Three constituents, three major fertilizers, three secondary nutrients or soil conditioners, and seven micronutrients. And to be surprised, all over India for the first 30 years, every meeting I ask farmers, students, and agriculture officers, anybody, can you tell, all the 16 elements in order way, one, two, three, four categories? To be surprised, not even a single person answered me in a clear way. That is the status of Indian agriculture for the these many years. Not even a single person. In also, if I ask anybody, tell Ituksha, one should tell in a order way. It's not that ksha, I, and pa, pa, ba. Then no meaning at all. It must be in a order way. So like that, if you ask all the 16 elements, nobody. Somewhere, even people doesn't spell molybdenum in a proper way. That is the 15th element actually. So what I observed is in Indian agriculture, the empire is the total Indian agriculture empire is stand on the baseless knowledge, actually basic fundamental knowledge. That's why after this many years also we are not big. We could not become a good exporter to the other countries. As like small countries that exporting their food by taking so much care. Government is involved. Okay. This is a number game. All the nutrients, I think, of your students will know. Then we'll question answer. We can check it. Next, go to the next one. This slide I made it specially for myself to understand myself. And this will not available in Google also. This I compared the plant nutrition and human nutrition. Why it is important? Agriculture is important means human beings can't eat direct fertilizers to their stomach. That's why the fertilizers nutrition should given in the form of nutrients to the plant. Plant produce the food, then animals and human beings should be taken. This I explained is what is nitrogen, how it is useful in the plant, how is it useful in human being. That you can check it with the students. You can give it to the slide to everybody. They can understand. This is the basic concept that nutrition are not only important to the plant. It is important to the human beings actually. All the nutrition coming, all the nutrition of 16 are coming from the plant source only to the plant. Even some animal source are coming, but maximum source come from plant source only. That's why I made this plant health quality food is most important. Okay, next. This is the relation between nutrition and human health. Next. Huh. This is the biggest opportunity I got to start my product design also. See, for any recipe, there must be a percentage. Without percentage, recipe cannot be made. In agriculture, if you make the fertilizer recipe, nutrition, that's why when I started this concept, fertilizer means people are avoiding with the fertilizer. Using of fertilizer is a big crime now. We can't use fertilizer because they consider as a chemical farming. Chemical. That's why I removed all this fertilizer word, use nutrition. That's why nutritionally balanced farming. Nutrition is very important for the health. Okay. So now this nutrition, the percentage wise, if you calculate, you will be astonished why these many years we neglected these nutrients in agriculture and captured only the NPK. That is the biggest damage happened. The percentage of nutrition is required in the plant is carbon is 45%, oxygen is 44%. Is a figure is some wrong here. They didn't mention it. 40% of carbon, 44% of oxygen, and oxygen is 6%. Total 90% agriculture will be controlled by these nutrients. Remaining 10 is nitrogen and phosphorus, potash only 5%. Calcium, magnesium, sulfur only 3% role in the plant health, and all the micronutrients is responsible only 2%. Now you tell me, for all the last 30-40 years, NPK become 90% and carbon become 0. That is the biggest damage happening. That's why pest is not controlling, root diseases are coming, and the soil health is totally damaged because carbon is most important. Without carbon, just like for human medicine, human health, the most important health factor is fiber. As much as fiber if you take, maximum problem will be cleared. Like that, as much as carbon if in the soil, maximum pest attack will be controlled. That's I'll prove it. Because carbon, where the carbon must be 10%, it becomes 0.2. And nitrogen must be 1, it becomes 10. That is the damage happened. If BP is reversed, altered, 120 by 80 or 80 by 120, what happens? We know very well. That's happened in this all these days. Nobody has monitored it so far in this many years. No, nobody has monitored. And simply government telling we stop urea. We don't use much supplementary urea. They are doing other way instead of repairing it. That's why in the NBF we will repair it. In NBF, we have developed a factor that SIR effect. It's called SIR effect. It's no, I developed myself to rectify this one. Salt interference rate. It's the most important factor. If you don't understand this SIR effect, nobody will balance the nutrition. That I will train how to balance it. Okay, salt interference rate. If any nutrition excess in that a particular area, it will suppress the other nutrition available to the plant, and that will damage the plant health. That is SIR effect. So in NBF, we'll consider as an SIR effect, then we'll balance it. Okay, these are all percentages I have given. You can go through it. How much percentage? Whether the farmers are applying the fertilizer based on this percentage or on their own way. Who has given the permission to apply on their own way? Nobody takes answer. That's why NBF is most important. I'm considering to train them. Now, finally, anything a farmer ultimately required yield. Without yield, farmer you cannot satisfy, because ultimately farmer says how much I am invested and how much I'm getting. He will calculate. If it is balanced, well and good. If it is less, he will be unhappy, and if it's more, he will be very happy. Okay. So now, what is yield? Yield equal to quantity plus quality. Okay. So now
I will request the speaker to pause here because there should be some time left for the questions.
okay,
We
sir.
will request you to give a second part of the talk to be
Ah,
scheduled soon. Thank
okay,
you
sir.
very much.
Okay, sir. Can I stop here, sir, for questions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Ask the questions.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and inspiring presentation. Your ideas on sustainable and self-reliant agriculture has truly enriched our understanding and motivated us all. We deeply appreciate your valuable time and contribution to this session, sir. So now we will be taking the questions. We have few questions, sir, from student side. They have kept it in the chat box. So I will be discussing one by one, sir, questions. So first
Yeah.
question was from the student ki how this NBF you were asking, how does it differ from the conventional farming? Like conventional, जो आपने mention किया, you mentioned it as chemical farming. So
Yeah.
how this conventional farming differ with NBF?
Yeah. So, definitely differ from the chemical farming. Actually, first of all, we should not use chemical farming in concert with the fertilizers. Actually, please, everybody are to know doing this mistake. Chemical farming means application of chemical fertilizers. Okay, chemical farming is not related to the application of fertilizers. Chemical farming is related to the application of harmful hydrocarbon-based insecticides, fungicides, and weedicides, because hydrocarbons are very dangerous to the health, and most of the time farmers are indiscriminately spraying all the pesticides. That residues are spoiling our health actually. Even that also, technically is not the problem. The solvents of that the chemicals that pesticides are harming, because all the hydrocarbons are dangerous to the health. But here, chemical fertilizer, instead of chemical fertilizers, we have to use the synthetic fertilizers actually. That is the proper word. Because we can't provide the crops acreage wise, huge acreage with the organic manures, because you know very well nowadays availability of the organic manures are very very limited, because it is no related to the animals, actually animals compost, or if you produce a vermicompost also not possible acreage wise. So when conventional farming compared to conventional farming, excess fertilizers, instead of giving balanced, that fertilizers, excess fertilizers spoiling these plant for health parameters. That is the problem actually. Yield is the yield they are getting. That health parameter disturb, no, that killing the quality. The quality is not coming. So that's why what NBF does, both quantity and quality will be produced, because I am balancing the nutrition, which is excess, reducing, which is less, is balancing, and using the carbon technology. We have developed a carbon liquid in between all you. If you go to the chemistry, the plus and minus, all the nutrition, all 15 are plus and minus, except carbon. Carbon is neutral. This everybody knows that carbon is a neutral. That's why, because of neutral factor, neutral quality, all the fertilizers will be absorbed by properly with the carbon help to the plant. That's why carbon is most important. So in our NBF program, along with synthetic fertilizers, I am using carbon as a base. That's why it is different from conventional farming. Because in chemical farming, they are applying only the fertilizers, that too indiscriminately, no quantity, no volume wise they are applying. That is the difference. That's why soil, they are getting yield, but soil health is decreasing and quality is not coming. In NBF, quality and quantity both can be taken.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Thank you, sir.
I would suggest that all the questions which the students, by the way, I want to tell uh, our speaker that we have a group of 300 farmers
Yes,
whose
sir.
students are studying in the school, and these 300 farming children
Okay.
are in our school,
Yes, sir.
and you are reaching to 300 farmers
Yes,
at
sir.
least.
I know. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I also suggest that we should develop a website,
Yeah.
and we should develop educational information on that website. The IHS will help you
Yes, sir.
uh, set up, and it's obvious that there is so much misinformation available, ignorance, and we can do a lot better with a lower cost.
Yeah.
So I just want to stop here, and if there are any other questions,
Yeah.
the students have a lot of questions. I could see them still
Yes, sir.
typing.
Questions are
Yes,
coming,
sir.
coming. Can I
Yeah.
read it and answer?
No, what I
Sir,
will suggest
mm,
in the interest of time, that all the students should send their questions to Mr. Shitesh Jha, who is
ji,
the
sir.
coordinator of this program. He will forward it to the speaker. I promise 100% that every student will get the answer to their question.
Yes, sir.
By the way, we have MSME in charge in the audience. I want him to uh, comment less than a minute what he thought about this program and what's his reaction. Unmute करिए. Can you hear me? नहीं. Okay. So we will request our principal sir to move a vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
So questions are coming here. Can I read to answer it,
Okay.
or what to do?
Correct.
That the questions are coming.
Sir, I will be just taking their questions and I will share it to you, and so
Yeah,
that
please.
I will
So
share
you can
that
answer it.
answer saying in to the participants.
Yeah.
As our president has said, we will do it,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So we can
Okay.
continue for maximum another 5 minutes. We'll conclude it. No, now almost all come to the end actually. So now here clearly this is the factor. This is a role model for me to build up all my fertilizers in formulations and even design to the per acre wise, because I will take 3 years data of previous farming. Then I can just go that just yield factor. Just go to the slide of yield
Okay.
factor. Okay. Just I want to explain just one line. Go to the yield factor. Yeah. Now this anybody can note it down. This is a fundamental thing which I follow it, and even I design the formulation based on that. See, yield is quantity and quality, and quantity is always responsible by the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. Whether this NPK comes from cow dung or waste material or city compost or whatever, it doesn't matter. NPK must be there, because ultimately cow dung cannot be eaten by the roots. The ions should be released in the soil only, in the water. Then only it takes it. Otherwise, cow dung there it lies. Then quality is totally depend upon the micronutrients. Just like our food, major food is cooked. No dal, rice, and no wheat as a chapati. But to take it consume very well, our curries must be given the all the spices. Then only food quality taste will come. Like that, quantity will come from NPK. This role is only 5%, and quality comes by the micronutrients. It's a 2%. To work these two properly, there must be a conditioner. This is called as soil conditioners. This role is 3%. To work these three together, there must on the base of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Of course, hydrogen is not required. Now it is not required. That much importance not came, because still it is available through water. But carbon has drastically damaged, and oxygen. Ours is the in the not only in India, the world, the only company in the world, I'm telling, only company developed a product, oxygen product. Because in my own farm, roots were dying actually. Even application of fungicides and all these things, no roots are dying. Then I remembered my botany class, no basic fundamental, what the roots, how the roots physiology. It's then I remember recollected. Yes, oxygen is important for the roots, because roots respirate. Always root respirate. They don't accept other gases. Nowadays, what happened? Excess fertilizers, ammonia, excess fertilizer of phosphorus, phosphate gas, phosphine gas, another insecticides, all bad gases are damaging the roots. So oxygen requirement is 44% requirement. If oxygen levels are come down, definitely root will die. Even if you treat any fungicides, it will not clear. Now my biggest weapon in taking good result is oxygen and carbon, because these two role is 84%. These are all 10% only. Why should I get them? Because all the nutrients are available in the soil in unavailable form, that is hydrox form. If I improve the carbon, Kshitiji, one slide I have given you just separately, that the concept, can you project it? That is the basic fundamental of agriculture. Even it covers all the type of agricultures practices. Can you, one separate slide is given concept of fundamental given fundamental concept. Did you have it?
I think it was in the previous file that you have
Okay.
shared.
You I will explain here only the concept.
Okay.
Actually, the NBA concept is 4 pillars of the health. Four pillars of the soil health. Very important. Please listen this. This covers entire your organic, chemical, everything. It gives answer. Actually, did anybody giving fertilizer in the forest? Did anybody spraying any pesticides in the forest area or any out of the agriculture area? No. Then how the plants are survival? Because of 4 factors. See, from the earth born unto the end of the earth, all the nutrients are available. But the thing is, the nutrients are not available form, being in hydroxide form. That's why, like, we have all the sea water is there, but you can't drink it because it contains salt, unavailable form of water. If you want to drink it, and you can filter it, you can process it. This is what nature's rule is. You cannot take anything from the nature easily. You must have hard work. You must parishram. इसको बोलते हैं परिश्रम करना पड़ता है. तब जाके you can get it. Here also, plenty of nutrition. You need not give a single granule of synthetic fertilizer. Everything is available in the soil. Okay, but they are not available. They are in hydroxyl form. Then who will make this available? The beneficial microbes of the local, they release the enzymes and slowly, it's called nutrition mining. So pillar number 1, health, my beneficial microbes. If they are working, they need food. Though carbon is the source for them. It is a pillar number 2. And third, if they want to work, they need a climate, pH 6 and 7. And even these 3 are there. If plant doesn't have root, oxygen, they will die. So pillar number 4. This is agriculture. You need not apply anything. So carbon and oxygen is most important to maintain the pH. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Our
this is called natural farming.
Mr. Tiwari, we have to thank the guest. We have to wind up this and plan another lecture because there's a lot of information he wants to share. He is very eager to share, but we'll have to give him another chance. It's getting late at night.
45 minutes is not at all sufficient, sir.
Yes. Mr. Tiwari.
Yeah. Any question answers?
Yeah, please go ahead and thank the guest.
Last
the
1 minute, sir.
Okay.
One slide, please go. One slide.
Thank
last slide. Last slide. Just go to the down. Just last slide. This is very important. That one. This one. Upper one. No. The upper one. Then this one. This is the Liebeck, the principle. Most important. What he says in 18th century, any single nutrient is deficient in the soil or plant, yield will be drastically affected. Even one single nutrient. Not all the question. You can imagine for the first 30 years, 40 years, farmer is applying only NP. How damage has happened. That's all. So here I conclude the meeting. I am
Mr.
very thankful.
Tiwari, unmute, please.